Life is supposed to get better after graduation. You're supposed to walk across that stage, grab your diploma, and be welcomed into the real world with open arms. All the parties, all the gifts, all the congratulations you get. It's all supposed to represent the world you're about to join. I mean, you just made it through the hell of high school. 4 years of stress and drama, and now you're finally free to be an adult. They don't tell you everything, though. They don't tell you the real secret of the world, of society, of what life is truly about. They don't tell you about the never-ending cycle of money, the endless grind to make a buck. If I had known, maybe I would have been better prepared for the time after graduation. Maybe I wouldn't have ended up where I am now. Sleepwatching. That's what it's called. The newest way to make some quick cash. Manny told me about it. Old good-hearted Manny. He meant well. He really did. I mean, he's been my best friend since freshman year. He didn't know what would happen though. I had told him about my newfound struggle for money, and he knew I was lazy. In my head, I was too good for the entry-level job at McDonald's or Walmart. I needed something that was going to bring in money quickly and easily. So, him, being the good friend that he is, it didn't take him too long to find exactly what I was looking for. Sleepwatching. A job in which you literally get paid to do absolutely nothing. Ollie, all you have to do is just sit there and stay awake. I remember him telling me. Like most things that end in disaster, it seemed too good to be true. So, me being exuberant about my brand new job opportunity, I ran home like I just found Wonka's 5th and final golden ticket. Ran straight past my parents and into my room, sat down on my desktop, launched Chrome, and began looking up the wonderful world of sleepwatching. You see, it's actually a quite simple idea. Some people fear being alone and they can't fall asleep without some connection to the outside world. These people would pay extremely well just to have someone sit up with them while they rest for the night. Sleepwatching.net is the premier place to get all of your sleepwatching needs. Apply to join as a trusted watcher. In just a few days you'll be matched with a sleeper in need. I signed up that same day. Oliver Twitch, I typed into the bar. Putting in information you should never put into any website. Of course, I understood that sleepwatching.net needed to do a security check on me, just to make sure I wasn't joining for any nefarious reasons. It took a few days for the acceptance to finally come in. I was so excited to finally get it, to know that I was about to hit pay dirt. I logged into the website and, to my surprise, I already had a sleeper alert. Someone was willing to pay me. I clicked on the link and it gave me the brief profile information of the sleeper who wanted me. Her name was Violet, a sweet name for a sweet, innocent old lady. She was 74 and alone in her life. Her husband died a few years ago earlier and her family had leased her apartment out and basically forgotten about her. She put on her profile that she had had trouble sleeping as of late and thought that having someone younger there would do her a lot to ease her insomnia. I greedily accepted. The rate for the job was just too good to pass up. Old people pay extremely well. We messaged a little for the day, just short messages. She wanted to make sure I was okay with the job and the pay. All she needed me to do was to be on the webcam feed. She said she was fine with me doing anything else during the night. It was around noon when we talked, so I decided to take a nap. I had to be ready for an all-nighter, and an all-nighter that would hopefully get me paid. It got dark around 9 where she lived, and I was about an hour behind, so it was still daylight when we got ready for the call. Before I hit the dial button, a pop-up window appeared on my screen. A special message straight from sleepwatchers.net. It was titled, The Rules. Listed below the simple heading was a short list. Do not fall asleep. For no circumstances may you wake up the sleeper. Do not touch the red emergency button unless there is actually an emergency. Do not fall asleep. I mentally laughed at the rules at the time. They were all so basic, just common sense bullet points that anyone should have known before taking a job as a watcher. I clicked the agree button at the bottom of the page and then waited for my call to Violet to connect. She was a sweet old lady. She had an innocent smile on her face, and when she appeared on the screen, she seemed genuinely happy to see me. "Hi, Oliver," she said. "Thank you so much for doing this, and I hope you have a good night." I assured her that I would, that I had a few open tabs that I'd be working on while she slept. I told her goodnight and she laid down into bed. In what seemed like just a few short moments, she was peacefully asleep. With Violet asleep, I began surfing the web. I had all night to endlessly search. I was getting paid to do what I would have been doing anyways on a night like this. The night went by quietly for the most part. There was one point during the night where I thought I heard something coming from the video's feed. It almost sounded like breathing, but me being the smart-ass kid that I am, I knew it was just the sound of the video cams when both sides are silent. I shook it off and continued with the night. In the morning, when the first rays of sun were beginning to fill Violet's room, she woke up. No alarm for her, just sunlight. Her first move was to look towards her laptop, which was sitting on the desk next to her bed. She smiled when she saw me, asking me how my night had been. I told her that it went smoothly. She sighed a sigh of relief and thanked me. She told me to have a good day and then she hung up the feed. I'm a teenager, so I'm pretty used to all-nighters, but with my job done, I gladly went to bed with a smile on my face. The next few nights were the same. I would video call Violet around 8 at night and she would be asleep in literally 5 minutes. Thank God the internet is endless. I learned so much useless stuff during those first few nights. Then I started reading stories. Some scary ones just to pass the time and make the hair on the back of my neck tingle for a while. I wish I hadn't. Honestly, the scariest thing that happened during those first few nights was when Violet got up and went to the bathroom. She woke up at around 3 in the morning and drowsily nodded at me and headed to the bathroom. Most of the nights I never really even looked at the feed. Nothing ever changed, so there wasn't really a point. But I was watching while she was in the restroom. Maybe out of boredom, maybe because when she came out I wanted her to think that I was alert the whole night through. I saw something when she was in the bathroom. It was only on the screen for a second, but I swear to you that I saw it. A hand. An oversized bleached white hand that was inching its way out from behind the curtain that covered the window on the other side of the bedroom. I only saw it for a second, and it was gone before I could really even make anything out of it. I shrugged it off though, blaming it on the mixture of the midnight drowsiness and the Red Bull that I'd been drinking. Violet came out of the bathroom and went back to bed. Her only communication to me was a soft smile before her head hit the pillow and she was instantly out. The way she fell asleep so quickly. She treated sleep like a luxury, and I felt proud to be the person that could bring that luxury back to her. The next night, 5 nights ago, everything changed. The night started out normal. Violet and I were following our established routine. Her whispering, "Good night, Allie," to me and then passing out. The quietness of her room. The sound of me clicking away into Google trying to find some new information that I had yet to exhaust. Everything was normal. It's all my fault. I didn't nap as much as I should have that day. That, and along with not having any Red Bull on me for the night. I fell asleep. I broke the rules. You can't blame me. I had stayed up every night for a week, sleeping while the sun shined and missing out on everything around me. I didn't even talk to Manny since he told me about sleepwatching. You really can't blame me. It's not my fault. When I slept hard. For at least an hour I was out, drooling on my keyboard. It was really the last decent sleep I'd had in days. I woke up to a bang, an extremely loud bang. My head came up quick, and I had no idea what was going on, but I think that my body instinctively knew that something was wrong. I went straight to Violet's tab. She was asleep. Whatever had awoken me didn't disturb her in the slightest. But that's when I saw him. The monster that I now call the Watcher. He was standing in the corner of Violet's room, half hidden in darkness. The few details I could make out about him was that he was extremely tall and extremely skinny. And I could also see his eyes. They were entirely white. They seemed to be reflecting some ungodly light, and they were directed straight at me. I couldn't move. I was frozen in place, and fear was my ice. He began to move towards Violet. Her back was to him, and her peaceful sleeping face was just pointed in my direction. I did the only thing that I could think to do. I yelled. I yelled, trying to wake up Violet. I was yelling her name, pleading her to wake up. I now wish she hadn't. Her eyes popped open and instantly locked with mine. As she did, though, he was upon her. I think she knew what was happening. Her eyes stared at me, and I could see the tears begin to form. He destroyed her. He began slamming both of his fists into her body, over and over again. He wouldn't stop, and all I could do was watch. Blood got everywhere as he broke through her skin, her eyes on me the whole time. I knew what she was doing. I could see her silently sobbing as he continued to slam his fists into her broken body. "Ollie," I heard her whisper, "help me." I tried to do the only thing that I could. I grabbed the mouse and clicked onto the red emergency button, the one that was only supposed to be used during actual emergencies. But the thing didn't work. It read, "This feature is restricted at this current time. Reason? Disobedience of the rules." Some way, somehow, Sleepwatchers.net knew that I had fallen asleep. It knew, and now it was punishing me. My attention turned back to the thing as it continued slamming its oversized fists into Violet. The once white hands were covered in blood. Violet's eyes were lifeless now, but they still seemed to be staring into my soul. I cried. I sat in front of my computer with my head in my hands, and I cried. Violet died because of me. I watched her be destroyed, and it was all my fault. I heard the continuous slamming of the Watcher's fists into Violet's body stop. I was afraid to look up, but I did. Those white eyes were staring at me. The overly large blood-soaked hands hung loosely at the thing's side. Those eyes held no expression, but I know what the thing was trying to tell me.
"It's all your fault, Ollie."
I haven't slept since that night. Violet haunts my dreams as, if I close my eyes for even a second, she's there, screaming at me, cursing my name with her innocent voice. She knows it's my fault, and she will not let me forget. That thing is coming for me. Violet's death was just the first punishment for breaking the rules, and mine will be the second. I don't know what to do. I haven't been able to tell anyone. I know anyone that I could possibly tell would just think I'm insane, and if they didn't instantly call me crazy, well then they would know that Violet's death was my fault. It isn't the monster's hands that are covered in blood, it's mine. He has been getting closer every night. At first it was just the shadows passing by the corner of my eyes. Things that could be mistaken as nothing. But now I hear his breathing. That low, almost silent breathing. I hear it no matter where I go. He is always watching. I hear him right now, behind me as I type. Standing over my shoulder and reading what I have to say about him. This nightmare is torture. I'm going to go insane soon if I don't sleep. Please, I need to sleep. I'm begging you. I'm willing to give you everything I own. Just please go find my account on Sleepwatchers. Please be my watcher. I won't make it through another night without one. Don't let me die. Just whatever you do, do not fall asleep.